Okay, so this is just going to be a walkthrough of the purpose of the board and how to navigate it. So when you start, the first thing you should do is to look through the sales scores. So this is the first piece of information. This first video gives you another walkthrough of how to use the platform that you're currently on, which is Trello. So after going through that video and understanding how to use it, then you go through each unit one by one, starting with the marketing knowledge for sales funnel, right? So there's a description of each piece of content, but what you generally be doing is going through the first link, then looking at the image, and then going through this Google Docs link. You can just click from here and it will pop up like so, and you can continue to read through. All right, the content for that is pretty much similar, so just getting a general understanding should be fine. Now unit 2 is prospecting, and the units are around 10 units that are communicated in the form of video. So what you do is you click on each link starting from the top here, go through and actually watch the video or the videos one by one, and you do it in this order, starting from here, there, there, and then continuing downwards. And once you reach this point, you have other links that are going to be visible to you to complete. Right, the information in booking meetings, lead magnets, and prospecting is not necessarily mandatory, but it's there to give you an insight as to what you need to know so that you can not only do sales for Renegade but for other businesses as well and have a deep understanding. Now, unit 3 that says buyer persona, it's really about you understanding how to build a target audience or to build a ideal customer template so that you can make sure that you're reaching out to the right person. It functions similar to the whole qualified leads element that you see later on in the sales board, right? And all you have to do is click on a link, and then once you're there, just read what a buyer persona is, right? So just learn more about. You do not have to build a persona because we provided the information for the persona for this particular sales board already, right? Principles of influence, how to master persuasion. This is background information to develop your knowledge of marketing so that when you are reaching out to clients, you know what to say and what not to say. So this is going to be an ongoing process. So the ongoing process is going to be you communicating with the managerial team to find out what more you can learn about sales and marketing. And these tactics here are a great way to understand persons through psychology and communicate with them in a way that helps us to get them to become a client. And the rest of the units are similar. You just have to go through. This unit in particular is just giving you a checklist to say, okay, once you're doing a lead conversion, getting somebody to move from a stranger into a client, you'll generally be bringing them through these steps from here down to here, right? And then there are different scripts, but this one is saying that when it comes to reaching out to individuals, the scripts will be different based on the situation, and the tools that you use will be different. And it mentions business audit, social media audit, and website audit. These are different ways we're going to analyze the leads to see what service we're going to offer to them. All right. And these are just principles that you would follow in terms of following up with clientele. So you're gonna continue regular communication so that after you get somebody as a potential client, they don't fade out or forget to do business with us, because people are working every day and have a lot of things on their plate. So if they get distracted or somebody else pops up to them as a potential competitor, say somebody else says that they want to do graphic design for them and we're not keeping regular communication, they'll use that person over us, Writing a review, this is about making sure that persons are aware that we're a reputable company, and writing reviews helps them to give us feedback on what we can do as well. So we give them a link to our Facebook page or our Google page so that they can write a review on the company and the service that they receive, which we can use as a testimonial to reach out to further our new clientele. Right? And this says follow explanations and other columns for negotiation to remarketing. Right? Now, the last thing is tests. Right? And once you go into the test, you'll see a Google link. You just click on it and take the test. Right? So after going through this first unit, then you'll go through these one by one and just get an idea of what is in there, right? The primary pieces of information that you really need to pay attention to is the sales script, the general one, and the clients that we don't want to work with. If somebody's giving a particular vibe to us that we don't want, then it doesn't make sense working with them because it's gonna waste our time and it's gonna be a bit annoying to get money from them some of the times, right? And then these now are the different scripts for different scenarios, right? And packages, these are just different packages we offer. Qualified leads, just a checklist on the different things that person should have to qualify as a lead to reach out to them or to have them be a potential client. Where to find clients, places in terms of Instagram, Facebook. For Instagram, these are particular accounts that we can look up to. So say for example, there's a media house account on Instagram like Sleek Magazine or another company. We'd want to check who's following them or who they're following for potential leads. And it's a similar concept for the rest of the companies there or the rest of the categories mentioned. And followers of our competitors, for example, we check who our competitors are, find out who's following them because the persons that are following them would more than likely want the services that they offer, which will be the same services that we offer. Right? And these are the different stages that we're looking at now, right? From contacted leads all the way to remarketing that the client will be brought through. So after finding a client, you're gonna reach out to them and then you're gonna put this label here to say, okay, I reach out to the client. So the client's name is Mike or yeah, Mike. After you've reached out to Mike, you're gonna put this here, right? Say Mike, you started to do some sort of discussion with Mike and he's agreed that, yeah, say you started to do some discussion with Mike and he's agreed that he wants you to be doing his logo, for example, then Mike would be now in negotiation stage, right? So this is where you'd say, okay, Mike, you realize that you want a logo, you don't need a business card as well. We might try upselling them at this point or just getting absolute clarity on what they want. After we find out that okay, Mike wants a logo and a business card, then we're depending on whether or not Mike's Logan business card cost $20,000 Jamaican or 200 USD or more, we're gonna move to sending them our proposal. We don't necessarily want to send proposals to anything below that because it takes time and effort, and if the client is not paying that much, then they don't require such a document. All right. Now in development, after that we'd say okay, we're building Mike's business card and logo, and he's already paid us a 50% deposit, which we usually take before starting any form of work. And then after we've done Mike's work, right, then he has to pay the 50% before we actually transfer files. So once he's in that stage, we'll bring him over here and say, okay, all right, we're waiting for the 50%. Once we've gotten 50% from him, then we'll transfer the files, and then he'll be in a completion stage. And then after he's in the completion stage, then we start to gather more information or communicate with them and then remarket to Mike. Because once Mike has started his business, he's also going to need other elements like flyers or promotional material for Instagram for special events and seasons such as Christmas, Father's Day. So you might need a flyer design for a Father's Day promotion he's doing, or a banner for a trade show you may be attending, right? And over here is list of leads, which is just a list of leads that has been created by the managerial team. So they've already gone out on Instagram and the different social media platforms and decided that this person would be somebody that we could potentially do business with or may potentially need our services. And that is pretty much an overview of the sales team.